Okay guys, so to start off with, I have this basic sketch ready with me. Now what you can do is you can just download any image from the internet of French braids or any braids that you like and just go over and sketch the lines that you want. Or you can just use those images as reference to create a good rough sketch before you begin coloring it. Now once you have that, what you want to do is you want to fill up the whole shape with the color that you want to use. So in this case I'm using this brown kind of color, and I'm just going to be filling up the whole shape with this color. And yeah, just do that. And you cannot really fill the color by just dropping it in the shape, because the sketch lines are really light and the color might spill out. So yeah, just color it manually and keep the sketch lines really rough. They should look kind of imperfect because they are going to be guiding us and we are not going to be using them, so you don't have to worry about it. Now what you want to do is you want to pick up a color which is lighter than the base color, a lot lighter than that. So I am using this color which is a lot lighter than the brown color that I used on the base. And what I'm basically doing is using my technical pen from inking brush set, I am adding these hair-like strokes in the direction where the sketch lines are guiding me. So that is why sketch lines or a rough sketch for the braid or whatever hairstyle you're creating is really important. So when you are creating the sketch lines or the rough sketch for the hairstyle, make sure you are creating it in a way that when you start shading the whole hairstyle in the later steps, they guide you as to where or how to draw the hair stroke or in which direction the hair stroke should go. I hope this is making sense. So you have to do that beforehand in the rough sketch. So as you guys can see, I am adding these hair strokes. Some are curled, some are normal. It doesn't really matter. I'm just following the guide that I have with me as a sketch lines. So I'm just going to be adding these. And also for the brush size, you can keep it thin. I like it keeping it thicker, and I just love it that way. But if you like thinner hair strands, just decrease the size of the brush. Also, if you're using some other software than Procreate, find a brush which is kind of similar to this brush right here, or you can just use soft air brush, doesn't really matter. Now once you have that and once you are happy with all the hair strokes, what you want to do is you want to just pick up the blending tool and blend those out. Now you don't want to blend those out completely, just make sure you're blending these hair strokes out in a hair stroke kind of shape. I hope that is making sense. So just decrease the size of the brush, and when you are going over a specific hair stroke, make sure you are blending it in that particular shape, so that it doesn't, blurs out. We don't want to smoothen out everything, or we don't want to remove everything. You really have to be gentle with the blending tool when you're blending these out. So now I have blended all of them right here. As you guys can see, I actually decreased the opacity of that layer because I wanted to see where I'm going to be adding these dark looking hair strokes. Now this step is really important. So you have to pick up a dark color, darker than the base color, and then you want to add these in the middle, right in the middle where all the hair strokes are kind of meeting each other. I hope this is making sense, you guys. So when you are creating your rough sketch, make sure everything is guiding you. Alright, so I don't know how to explain this part, but you just have to add these dark looking hair strokes where you think the shadows must be, or the darkness should be, in a sense. I really hope this is making sense. I'm like trying my best to explain this part, but you just have to add these where you think the shadows should be. So again, I'm using technical pen from inking brush set, and again using the similar sized brush, I'm adding these hair strokes where I think the shadows should be. So you don't have to go ahead and pick up soft airbrush to add shadows, because those will look washed out, right? we don't want that look, right? So you want to pick up the technical pen from inking brush set, and wherever you think the shadows should be, just add these hair strokes there, and yeah, just keep adding that. Now once you're ready with those dark looking hair strokes, start blending those out with a blending tool. Again, make sure you're not blending everything out, just blend the hair strokes in their specific shape, so that we are keeping the hair stroke, but at the same time they're not looking harsh, they're not looking crazy. So that's how you do it. So don't go crazy with the blending tool. Also always make sure when you're using blending tool that the opacity is pretty low, don't keep it high. Now yeah, as you guys can see, I actually blended it all out, and I kind of adjusted the opacity of that layer a bit. And yeah, also we are doing everything in different layers, so each step is equal to new layer. So make sure you are building the whole hair or the hairstyle in layers. Now here what I did is I actually started adding black, almost black color, just right in the middle where those dark hair strokes are. I hope this is making sense, just to kind of add more depth to the whole hairstyle. You don't have to do it, you can skip this step if you want to, but I like doing as it adds depth to the whole hairstyle. So that's what I'm doing right here. Now once that is done, just create a new layer. Now we are going to be adding some light hair strokes. So for that I'm using light pen from Luminance brush set, and I'm just going to be using the base color that we initially used to fill the shape as my color, and I'm just going to start adding hair-like strokes again just over everything. Now make sure that the size of the brush is minimum, and that way we will be getting, you know, more thinner and more lighter looking hair strokes. Now this adds highlight to the whole hairstyle. That is why I love doing it. You can skip this part if you want to, but it actually does helps the whole hairstyle look a lot more realistic than it already is. So that's why I love doing this step as well. So again, make sure that you are following the guides that you already have, so you don't really have to worry about in which direction to go, as you already have a lot of hair strokes placed on the shape. So that's helpful. Now to blend, again, this time you don't have to blend everything out, or you don't have to go over the hair stroke. Instead what you want to do is you want to just blend the starting points of the hair strokes and the end points of the hair strokes. You can just keep the rest. Now again, just create another layer. Now this time we are going to be highlighting the whole hairstyle. So for that I'm using light brush from Luminance brush set, and I am using that brush to add highlights to the hairstyle, and I'm using the same base color that I used initially to fill the shape. So what I basically do is I just add little tiny dots here and there where I think the light should be hitting the whole hairstyle. So yeah, it's up to you. You don't really have to be perfect about it, but yeah, make sure to put light pressure when you do so, because we don't want to blend these out. So keeping that in mind, make sure you are putting light pressure, and we don't want it to look crazy. So that's how you highlight. You can also adjust the opacity later if you think the highlights are too much. So once that is done, the last step is to add some baby hairs around the whole hairstyle. So for that you want to create a new layer right at the bottom of every other layer that we have, and now pick up soft airbrush and decrease the size of the brush, or you can just use technical pen from inking brush set. It's up to you, it doesn't really matter. The key here is to decrease the size of the brush so that you can get a really thin looking hair stroke. So that is the goal. You want to add these hair strokes which are really light looking, which looks like baby hair. So I hope that is making sense, and you have to add it around the whole hairstyle. You can add curl ones, or you can add straight ones. It just depends on the type of hairstyle that you are painting. So that's how you create a braided hairstyle or paint a braided hairstyle on Procreate. You can use any software for this to work, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up, and if you do create something similar to this out of my tutorial, then tag me on Instagram. I would love to see what you have created. Other than that, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I post every Monday and Friday, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.